Yo, Stitch Face, all sit up.
Alright, you already know what time it is. Top 6 teams and legends. Now, quick rule before we start the video. I do not do this in any particular number order, just to let you guys know. This is just straight up the top 6 teams and legends. You can argue amongst yourself to talk about which one you think is number 1. I really don't really care. So the first team that we're talking about here is Gaki. Right now, Gaki has got a massive amount of support over the times since the last time I made my last top 6 video. And no, they're a solid team. No, they get the job done. They're very well rounded, I would like to say. Vados, really amazing support unit, but you can honestly trade her out for the transforming Goku Black, who is not here because he starts off in base form. But no, you can replace her for the transforming Goku Black. She's really she pairs up really well with Champa, who I also don't have. I don't have any good yellow units for this team, right? Because the 2 best yellow units for Gaki right now is Champa and Ella Blue Gogeta, which I don't have neither of them, but they fill the role of just being glass cannons on your team anyway. But they hit hard, right? And then you got Goku, who is another glass cannon on this team, able to hit increasingly, like just insanely hard, but no, just one tap from any yellow unit, it's over with. Yeah, it's literally like gets one shot at a lot, so just keep that in mind. But I think his dodging mechanic makes up for it a little bit in some ways, right? Because if you utilize it, it can be kind of tough to deal with. Well, yeah, I could say it's a little bit more annoying to deal with, not really tough, but there's that. And then you have the staple red unit for this team, which is this Goku. Still think he's probably the best God Key red right now. Able to output a insane amount of strike damage, has a cover rescue, and also really good in late game situations. So there's that. Then we have this guy. So between blue units, when it comes to God Key, you could choose between this guy or this Zen. Well, he's only really usable if you get him Zenkai. This blue Goku from the 1st anniversary or blue Vegeta. Now blue Vegeta I still think is probably the more superior unit as far as his raw damage, and like his ability to have these long ass combos is just still on challenge to this day. But this guy is a lot more tankier. He's a lot more on the tankier side, because the first 45 time it comes to the match, where he reduces all damage for by what 45%, and it cannot be canceled if I'm correct, right? Let me just quickly check that. Okay, so the first 45 time it costs reduced damage for 35 cannot be canceled, but it's not cancelable. So yeah, he's a little bit more tankier, especially since most like you guys have more stars on this guy, and he's also able to output a good amount of damage, well actually insane amount of damage in mid to late game situations, because he does need a little bit of a build up before he's able to output really crazy damage. So there's that. So that's the Gaki team. Obviously there's a lot of other units you can sub out here. If you have Bear Zenkai, you can put him on the team. He's insane, like able to seal. He's just an insane. I'm not gonna get too deep in that. Maybe if you guys have more stars on your Hella Vegeta, like me, you'll be able to also run him optimally. He's still good, but I'm not a fan of running 2-star LFs anymore. They just don't do it in the meta nowadays. Also, this guy is also pretty solid as well. You can honestly use him to replace Goku and use him as your death buffer, because that's really where he shines his best, when he gives out his death buffs. So there's that. So that's the Gaki team right there. Let's get into the next team and I'll talk about that. So here we are, Saga from the movies. Now once again, I don't have 400% all the newest God of Saga from the movies units, but this still is one of the best 6 teams in the game currently right now. So if you guys don't have Ella Blue Gogeta, another team that he's on, I still think this guy is still able to dominate. If you don't have Ella Blue Gogeta, you don't need him. If you have this guy, he's still like a top tier yellow unit for your Saga from the movies team, in my personal opinion. The ability to just lock in. He also has extra damage when you're going up against a Saga from the movie character. His special move does crazy damage all around. Just a phenomenal unit. A year later, he's still able to dominate. Now Green Broly, you can sub him out for Meta Cooler if you want to. Honestly, between those two, they're kind of in the same realm as far as where they will be able to be effective, in my personal opinion. It'll honestly come down to which one you like more off of preference. As far as red options, you have the Frieza here. This guy is insane, by the way. I want to say, it's hard to say. I don't want to say it right now because this Broly is going to be the Zenkai just like a few hours from me making this video. So I don't know how crazy good they're going to make him, but currently right now Frieza is probably the best red, I want to say, on Saga from the movies. He has guaranteed paralyze on his green card, able to take away people's Dragon Balls, and able to also increase his damage up to like what, 160% if he has all the Dragon Balls, because he gets 80% damage with it just for coming in the match. Then he gets 30% extra for every 3 to 6 Dragon Balls he has, and and an extra 50%. 50% if he has all 7 Dragon Balls. So this guy is just a crazy hard hitter. Then he gets all these buffs every time he lands a strike or blast card. So, and crazy phenomenal unit. And he has an amazing Z ability on top of that. All around, they did a pretty good job with this unit. He was expected to kind of be a garbage unit, a garbage banner unit, but he's actually really good. All around that's pretty much my version of Saga from the movies. Like I said, there are other better units that you can swap out for this team, but even without my team build not being the best, they're still one of the best teams in the game. They are able to dominate, output crazy amounts of damage. So there is that. Next we have Future, right? Future, I feel like there are two let's say linchpins, I like to call them, that are holding this team up. It's this transforming Red Cell with the revival mechanic, and this Goku Black. This guy is like, he's like, I want to say he's like probably 7th best unit in the game. He's insane, bro. He's insane. Like, the ability to extend combos how long he is able to, I actually think he might be able to extend combos longer than Vegeta Blue. I'm not going to cap, bro, because once he gets rolling, he just starts dropping and it just never stops. Plus, he's anti-hybrid. He just does so much crazy amount of damage. Gets 70% damage inflicted. Yeah, 70% damage inflicted. All around crazy phenomenal unit. All around good stuff, and he's able to extend combos for a crazy amount of time, and just an amazing unit. And then they have the Transformer Cell with his Revival mechanic. The having a Revival mechanic is legit like just having another unit at your disposal that you could just like, it's like having 4 units in the match, right? Even though he dies really quickly, you could just use him to take a Riser Rush and then just go straight into his transformation right after that. And once he gets his transformation, oh boy, he starts dropping, man. Blast cards start doing hella damage, and his special move just phenomenal damage, bro. I would suggest that you probably go for special move equips on him, so you can one shot more with his special move, because it does a crazy amount of damage. Then there's the rest of Gaki. I already talked about this guy, you know, phenomenal unit as well. This guy is just a solid bench unit. He has a solid good Z ability, 30% to future blast attack and android strike attack, all around solid stuff. And then you have Rage Trunks, who I think has not really aged as well as the other second or anniversary units. I think he's probably the thing that's holding Future back a little bit. They need a newer yellow, in my personal opinion. I feel like Future has a newer yellow that I'm just not remembering. Whatever. I'm pretty sure you guys will correct me anyway. Let's run them anyway. So here we have the next team, Zenkai Saiyans, or Saiyans. I call them Zenkai Saiyans because they're pretty much like, they have the most Zenkais than any other team in the game, and they actually have the most free-to-play Zenkais than any other team in the game. So if I could quickly just pull up Saiyans real quick, I could just show you guys. Like, there's just such a mass. Oh no, take off Saga from the movies. My bad here. If you could just look at Saiyans, like, bro, they have the red Nappa, you got the Goku hair, you got this guy. Look how many Zenkais this Saiyan team has, right? And not all of them particularly buff Saiyans. A lot of them don't buff Saiyans, but the ones that do are still insane. Like this guy, I don't have him Zenkai. He's a Z tier unit, able to do out now, like, crazy strike damage. This guy is Z-tier as well, just able to just straight dominate with his blast damage, especially in late game situations. Then you have all the extra free-to-play Zenkai. So I think that's what gives this team such a good leeway, is that they have all that Zenkai power on top of having the free-to-play Zenkai that are also good as well, if you're willing to put in the investment. So there is that. So personally, that's the only thing I have to say about this team. Like, they're good. Like, they're really good if you have the Zenkais. If you don't, then they're not really that usable without any Zenkais on the team. Like, this is one team that needs Zenkais to sustain them, right? But Zenkais are the things that are like breaking the game, right? So like having that many Zenkais is just gives them such a nice advantage over everybody, at least as far as the overall raw power and stuff like that. So really good stuff. Next we have Sun Family. Don't really need to talk too much about Sun Family because y'all already know how Sun Family get down, man. This guy comes into the match, if anybody dies, it's over with. He's straight one-shotting everybody. His ultimate pretty much is a Rising Rush, a mini Rising Rush. If anybody dies, that's on Sun Family. All around just phenomenal unit. The most crazy thing I think that pushes this Gohan over the top, of why he's the king of legends, and why he's just nobody really touching him no time soon, is the ability to take away unfavorable elements, which is the ability to take away type disadvantage, on top of just being such a hard-hitting unit and also being a last man standing unit. It's just such a massive amount of utility at his disposal, where he's just able to just almost never really be at a disadvantage in any situation. So really crazy unit, really tough unit to go up against, really powerful unit, and one of the best Zenkai to this day. And the best LF to this day, and the best unit in this game, in my personal opinion, to this day, if you have Zenkai. Unfortunately, I do not, but everybody, you don't even need to have Zenkai to just know about his greatness. Same thing for LF Goku. Only thing at LF Goku is that he's this pretty much the same kind of role as Gohan, where he does a lot more damage based off of how many people die, but he particularly needs to be the very last man standing in the match. Where Gohan, he just gets damage buffs off of one person dying, but this guy gets most of his buff off of 2 people dying. So there's that. So that's all that stuff there that's going on as far as the Sun Family team. Like, they're the staples of the team. If you have them, the team is not really that impressive, but they're still able to get the job done. There's the Transformer hybrids on there that you can slip on there as well if you want to, like Transformer Goten, but they're meh as far as that. So finally, we have the last team here, Fusions. This is going to be probably a debatable one, but I still think that Yellow Vegito is probably the way to go for Fusions, because right now the way it's looking, Blue Gogeta, his defense makes it seem like he's not going to be able to age well in the meta, but Blue Gogeta is still probably the more harder hitter unit, so I'll obviously will not go against you if you want to put him over here if Yellow Vegito, if you have him. But Yellow Vegito, all around solid unit, just able to output a crazy amount of damage, has really high stats, obviously because he's a transform unit, and it's pretty much that. Then there's Blue Gogeta. I'm not gonna speak of him because you guys already know about him. His strike damage is insane, also able to output really good damage, extend combos for a long time, able to take away attribute upgrades on top of that. Then you have Kefla, who some people may slide off the team, depending on how you feel about Kefla, but she's able to also extend combos for everybody on this team, man. It's all they extend combos for a long time, or they just do a lot of crazy damage, or just like some type of special move stacking or some shit like that. But she's pretty much Blue Gogeta with this combo extending, just to be able to output crazy amounts of strike damage almost non-stop. Red Gogeta, really good if you get him in Zenkai. This guy is insane. Like, this is why Zenkai are just so ridiculous. They raise the power for one team by so much. This guy just is the staple red unit for Fusions, and I don't see that changing anytime soon. His ability to stack his strike and blast damage and stuff like that off every time he uses a strike or blast card, card reduction, feint on his special move, a powerful ultimates, just all around it's a phenomenal unit, and it has one of the best green cards in the game on top of that, a counter green card. Really good, phenomenal unit, man. Just able to output crazy amounts of damage. He just hits through everything, even blue units, like it doesn't even matter, at least at Zenkai 7. And yeah, there's that. Then there's Gotenks. If you get him the Zenkai 7, he could get the job done. He's very tanky, but at that level. But a lot of people skip this guy because his kit is not really that impressive. Like, you have to get him the Zenkai 7 if you want to really utilize him to his full potential. If you don't, then he's just kind of meh, to be honest, my personal opinion. So there's that. But you can run him over Kefla if you want to, I guess. If you want to go for a more slightly take your team, that is up to you. Fusions also, you can sub out for a couple other gooder bench units. Well, not gooder bench units, but other bench units like Red Vegito, base form Vegito that people forgot about, which I don't really feel like finding right now, but you guys get the point, right? So that's pretty much it. Top 6 teams in the game right now. Personally, there was a lot of debates between a lot of the teams that I wanted to put on here, like LOE, Powerful Opponent, and Rival Universes. I was thinking between those 3 teams, but LOE is lacking a lot of areas. So as Powerful Opponent, their team is kind of wonky right now because they dropped Jiren, but there's still that Transformer Goku Black, who I think is better than Jiren. So there's no appeal to have Jiren on that team. And a lot of their buffers, you need high stars to even get to where you can even buff Powerful Opponent on top of that. So I think that's the thing that that brings Powerful Opponent down, and why they're not top 6. But this is top 6 teams: Fusions, Sun Family, Saiyans or Zenkai Saiyans, Future, Saga from the movies, and then you have Gaki. So there's it. It's your boy Gaki. Go like Scott for more content. Tell me what you got to think about this top 6 teams of legends. You guys can argue, debate all times in the comment sections. I do reply to most of you guys, so don't be afraid to comment and give your opinions of what's your opinions on how you feel about this, and maybe some teams that you maybe think I probably slept on or that you would probably put in your top 6. Hey, it's up to you, man. So like Scott for more content. Tell me what you think about this, and I'm out.